You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com, the only Raider fan site made by Raider fans for Raider fans. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at CreativeMediaMonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler. What's up, Jay?
What's up, brother? What's up, Jay?
Hey, Che literally just sat down.
We're
kind of in a rush, I guess, somewhat.
It's been a busy week, man.
It's been a crazy week.
It's been a busy week for us. For you especially, man.
It's about 8:13 right now in the studio, California time, Pacific Standard Time. Mm-hmm. We're up against the clock. We got Matt Schneidman coming on at 8:30. We might run a little bit late, Matt. When you listen back to this, you'll understand. I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep. I haven't eaten a meal since, I don't know, it's been over 24 hours.
That's too long, brother.
It's way too long.
It's too long.
I'm living off of coffee and Diet Coke. And not a whole lot of Raiders news this week. But how was your week, man?
Hey, man. Like I said, it's been busy, but I'm not going to sit here and complain. Mm-hmm. You know? We got to do what we got to do, man.
Yeah.
Got to do what we got to do. And, the energy comes back once you sit down.
Just win, baby.
That's it. Just win, man.
We got a Raider on.
Got to have some commitment, bro.
And, new job is wild. I worked 13 hours yesterday. I worked from 8 to 10 p.m., 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and then I was back in the office this morning at 8 o'clock for my safe driving class.
Oh.
Got to get that city vehicle. And got out of work today at about 6. But I got to finish work in the studio, which was cool. I was making some slappers
there you go.
With the kids. So that was cool.
That's cool. You got in there, huh? You got on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to the instructors, it looks like I'm going to be taking a more hands-on approach. And we'll be teaching Fruity Loops FL Studio, which means I got to learn Fruity Loops. I don't produce some Fruity Loops.
Right.
But, hey, I haven't met a program that I can't master.
Oh, there you go. I like that. I like that.
That's the attitude. 4-3 defense? What, you running 3-4? Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it. Sounds good to me.
You ready to go?
Hell yeah.
Quick hits. Should I do it? No, I won't do it.
No.
Raiders signed former Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Derek Johnson.
Yes, they did.
So what are your thoughts on that, having a former KC Chief on the squad, especially a guy like Johnson?
Listen, man, this isn't the first time that we've taken on players from a rival team. We've taken on players from teams that we bash and hate on a regular basis. So,
yeah.
I'm not concerned about where he came from. I'm concerned about where he is and what his mindset is and what he's trying to bring to this team, man.
Yeah.
So as long as he's coming in with the mindset that he wants to do some positive things, wants to win,
right?
Which he's saying, right? He's saying he's here to get a ring. He's not here for no long term. Let's He says he wants to get a ring ASAP.
He wants to be the real MVP.
You're the real MVP.
That's it, man.
He said he did say John Gruden was a big pull for him, right? And at 30, well, he's going to be turning 36 this season, and he's got a lot left in the tank. Mm-hmm. So John Gruden continues to be a magnet for free agents, especially these older vets. And let's not forget, Gruden has the penchant for bringing in older guys that can still produce.
True. This is true.
Eric Allen comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's
how come everybody forgets when people want to be really critical of Gruden, all they talk about is all the veterans that he brought into Tampa Bay that didn't work out.
Yeah.
But the Raiders had a gang of veteran players, and it just so happens that most of them turned their careers around in some cases. I mean, Tyrone Wheatley, y'all. Tyrone Wheatley was a giant.
That's right.
Prior to the Raiders.
That's right.
Had you heard of him before that?
There was this guy, I think his name was like Johnny Quinoa. Jerry Rice. That was it.
Johnny Quinoa. How about your good old friend Rich Gannon? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich Gannon wasn't known as a all-star all-pro quarterback until he got to the Raiders. Yo.
Nope, wasn't a young buck.
Yeah.
No, I think he was like 47 when he signed with us.
Yeah, man, he had already been on what, like 2, 3, 4 teams?
Yeah, he'd been on Minnesota, he'd been on
Chiefs.
KC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people to neglect to mention that when they're talking all the crap they're talking, oh yeah, he's gonna bring in a bunch of veterans, it's not gonna work out, and then that's exactly what he's doing with your team. Yeah, well, we've seen this before too. Before he went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And it did work out.
It works out. And you know, I think the vets, guys that have played that long and have played at a high level, they're the kind of guy that could come in and understand his intensity.
Yeah.
Because by that time in your career, you know what it takes.
You ain't gonna be so sensitive, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing, right? Is you got some young guys that have been coddled or they're used to being the star of the show, and they may not be ready for somebody to challenge them on that level.
Right.
And they may cower or complain or bitch and moan about it. Oh, he's too this way, too that way. You get some veterans, they've been around the block. They've had plenty of coaches. They've seen the really nice ones. They've seen the extreme ones.
Yep.
So they're not gonna even blink, bat an eye at that, man.
Yeah, and go ask Billy Couscous. He'll tell you what he feels about it. Matt Schneidman just texted me. He wants to push back to 9. And
okay.
I'm going to tell him yes, please, because that is good. Now we can stretch our legs a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do that because
take your shoes off, bro. Take your socks off. It is hot in here.
It is a little warm. Not gonna lie.
Those of you that are listening and were wondering what happened to the YouTube stream.
Yeah, we apologize for that.
Yeah, just not enough time to set that up tonight, and you really don't want to see what I'm wearing right now. It's hot in here.
Yeah, so, you don't want to see the sweat stains slowly build on our t-shirts either, man. Just just dark spots building underneath the armpits and man boobs.
Hey,
well, my man boobs.
There's no man boobs in the studio. All right, these are just
play.
These are
just thicker than average pectorials.
And if you're hearing the ambient noise, it's because we're doing the show in my driveway. It's hot in the studio.
Yeah,
so it's good to kick back.
We're outside.
Yeah, on the street.
We're in the driveway.
Got a couple cold ones in our hand.
We got a grill.
Get off my lawn.
We're tailgating. We're tailgating this podcast.
Get off of my lawn. I saw one of those boys whacking off behind my tool shed. I think one of them was Oriental. Don't come after me. That's a quote. That's Hank Hill.
Hank Hill!
From the Beavis and Butthead days, if you will.
From the Beavis and Butthead days?
Yeah, that character started off on Beavis and Butthead. His last name wasn't Hill.
I always figured
yeah.
he was, because just the way that they drew that cartoon up, it was so similar to Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Mike Judge, same guy.
Yeah. So
different name. I forget his name on the show.
Mr. Buzzcut? Was it Mr.
No,
Buzzcut?
no,
something like that. Wasn't there a character like that? Mr.
That wasn't his name. That was the PE coach.
Yeah.
He liked to kick everyone in the balls. It was like their neighbor. Yeah, they always gave him a hard time. But quick hits.
Oh yeah.
Navarro Bowman offer off the table, or is he still on Gruden's radar?
That's a good question.
So conflicting reports this week. Vic Tafer had tweeted out that Navarro Bowman's offer was likely off the table. He said, Raiders have made an offer to Navarro Bowman, who is testing the market and trying to find another suitor and some leverage for a better deal. So he didn't say that, but 24/7 Sports kind of twisted it around, and they made it sound like the offer's off the table, but there's dead air there. Cork, I think, kind of puts it really well. He says the only linebacker right now on Gruden's radar is Navarro Bowman, but they're just going to let it play out. The offer's been made.
Right.
Bowman's going to test the market.
Yeah.
If there's an injury to our roster, maybe we up that because of the urgency a little bit, or maybe the price drops and then we snag him then. Maybe he's like, okay, guys, I'll take that money.
Right.
If you compare it to, from what I was hearing, what they were offering Bowman was somewhere in the range of $2 to $3 million, and I'm hearing that he wants somewhere more around $5 million. And you look at Derek Johnson's contract; it's a 1-year deal worth $1.5 million with a $200,000 signing bonus. $500K of that is guaranteed. Maximum $2.25 with incentives. Now that's a very fair deal.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah. For a guy that's been All Pro, a guy that's been productive the last 2 seasons, especially, right?
Yeah.
If he was just barely coming off of that Achilles injury, then I could be like, oh well, yeah, maybe they're overpaying him. But no, he's been really productive the last 2 seasons since coming back from that injury, and he says he's got more bounce than he had before. So he feels good. He feels confident about it, man.
I feel good. I mean, I think he's got 2 Achilles injuries in his past. So there's some concern there. Luckily, we do have some depth at linebacker, not quite what you'd like to see as far as like names, marquee names. When you weigh Bowman and you weigh Johnson against each other, Derek showed a lot better ability in pass coverage last year. Bowman, one of the worst, if not the worst, pass covering linebackers in the NFL last year. Yeah, but very stout against the run. But add Maurice Hurst, PJ Hall, a healthy Vanderdoes, and maybe a reinvigorated Justin Ellis to the middle of that line. Of course, you got Mack there, Arden Key, Tyre Whitehead.
Does this sound good?
It sounds great.
It's sounding good.
It's sounding
pretty good right about now, man.
And of course, Carl Joseph as a safety who's pretty stout at stopping the run. So, I think that Bowman at this point, don't change the offer. I agree with everything. I know when this all started, the offseason started, we were desperate to get Bowman. And I think after the draft washes out, hoping at least one of those guys, if Maurice Hurst can live up somewhat to that potential, not too much of a concern for me. And, Bowman would be nice to have. But again, like we've been saying all offseason, at the right price.
Right. And you know what, man? We got OTAs and we got mandatory camp coming up pretty soon. And I'm pretty sure that Mac is sitting there expecting something to get done prior to that. Right? So that's priority number 1. Man.
Yeah, let's hit that.
Yeah.
So, and maybe we'll talk to Matt about that. I don't know that he knows anything more than we do. I think it just is what it is right now. But yeah, Mac's still twisting in the wind out there, waiting. I really would have liked to seen him in this mini camp, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I got to see mini camp, man.
I know. Yeah. It'd be nice if we could pull up a lawn chair.
Yeah.
Sit out there, drink some brewskis, watch some practice.
Say what's up to Larry Longgrain, Bobby Basamati. I swear to God, I didn't write these down. They're just coming to me. I'm on that lack of sleep kind of level of creativity right now. What else we got over here? Oh, yes. Amari Cooper and Gabe Jackson, officially college grads.
Yes, they are.
Give it up to them.
Congratulations, fellas. We are proud of you.
Yeah.
Hey, and enough with the dumb jock idea, or
yeah, no,
that's just silly. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard. As a matter of fact, I mean, obviously I'm not comparing the two, but most of the guys that I played football with in high school were all scholar athletes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're all, and as a matter of fact, one of our guards was our valedictorian.
Wow, that's great.
Of our class.
And I was just going to say, especially Gabe Jackson, I think offensive linemen kind of unfairly get pegged with they're like the big dummies, just the big guys, big burly guys. They're some of the smartest guys on the team.
The offensive line is, yes, definitely by far some of the smartest guys on the team because of the adjustments that they have to make on the, you see different coverages, you see different blitzes and, shifting of the defensive line. Those are things that you have to be like on right away. Obviously, I think the person you think of when you think of the most intelligent player on the team is usually going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
But you can make an argument that it's the line, man.
You can make an argument, and some people have even said Rodney Hudson's one of the smartest guys in the NFL.
Exactly.
So,
and we've seen what it looks like when Rodney Hudson isn't in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look so good, right? He accounts for a lot.
Yeah.
He accounts for a lot.
Big time. And I saw footage actually of the commencement ceremony, and when they all threw their hats up, Cooper was trying to catch him, but ended up empty-handed.
Don't.
Unfortunately, sorry.
God damn it, man!
Ungoddamn believable.
Oh shit.
Another news, Mo Hurst can't afford an apartment in the Bay Area.
Yeah, I saw that. I almost responded to him, man. I was like, yo, It's rough out here, bro.
It's rough out here.
You want to come? There's an apartment that opened up right next to me in Hollister.
He thought he was going to be balling. He's about to be Che's neighbor. He's going to be like, not to say Che's not balling. You got a cozy little spot, but you think an NFL player.
Yeah.
You're thinking a little nicer spread. You know, hey, we would if we could. But Mohurst, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
You'll figure it out, bro.
But it's that sticker shock.
Yeah.
Right. Let's recap some of these Raiders transactions. A lot of guys we haven't really heard of before, undrafted free agents, but you never know. One of these guys could be the gem.
That's it, man.
Right. And also some of the draft picks, they wasted no time getting pen to paper. So we did sign tight end Marcus Baugh, Saeed Blacknell. Am I saying that right? Jason Cabinda, Alex Officer, as you know, we mentioned last week, Eddie Pinero, fullback Nick Sharga, who was later released, and then released to non-football illness, Armonte Bryant, and waived because of a failed physical, a name you do recognize, Corey James.
Yes.
A guy we've kind of been hyping up as a tough dude. Tried to play through a lot last year.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe.
He did try to play through a lot last year, and now we're figuring out just how much he was trying to play through, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if he get him past his physical, I was sad to see his name pop up there, man, because I really like what he was able to do for us when he was on the field, man.
Absolutely.
And I feel like he was on the cusp, like he was becoming that type of player that we were really going to be like, yes, we got our guy now.
Yeah.
So sad to see him go. Hopefully he gets himself healthy. He lands somewhere, or maybe he even comes back, man. That'd be nice. That'd be nice if he came back, ended up with us again.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, it could happen, right?
Yeah.
You still got a long way to go. Other guys we've signed, Azim Victor. What was that? 6th round pick?
Yeah.
18th pick in the 6th round. PJ Hall, 2nd round pick, 18th pick in the 2nd round. Paul Butler, Henry Poggi. Remember Pogs?
Yes, I do remember Pogs. I got some of them in a tube somewhere, man.
I don't even remember what the point of those
They're like
were.
in storage, man.
But I had a bunch. I didn't even really know what to do with them.
They were just cool to look at.
You collected them.
And you're like, hey, I got more than you.
I know you can play the game where you slam them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was all about. It's about stealing other people's Pogs.
Chris Warren, running back, waived Elijah Hood. I wasn't surprised at this, but
it's a lot of running backs, man. We had a lot of running backs. Somebody had to go.
Someone had to go.
We knew that.
You know, it was probably that wickedly fast 4.8 he ran at the combine, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But I wanted this kid to break so bad because how cool would it be to be sporting a Raider jersey with the name Hood on the back? That's pretty tight.
That is kind of cool, man.
And then of course waived Nick Sharga. Didn't stick around too long. John Gruden thought he had something, didn't have anything. Signed Derek Johnson, obviously, and waived, according to ESPN, one of our starting cornerbacks, Darius Hillary. Which
I had a real immediate reaction to that. It was funny because today I was talking to my boys in group, and I was talking about not reacting, right? Because a reaction is an action without thought.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I was like, don't do that. Don't react. Stop. Think. I reacted. I was like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Starter? From where?
Yeah, somebody had tweeted out, I think a bit sarcastically.
Yeah. I didn't catch the sarcasm, man.
So those of you that are on Twitter, remember to use sarcasm font when you're on there.
Sarcasm font, throw in a laugh out loud face, like a crying, laughing face, or like a face to hand to the face,
something like that.
You know, like shake my head emoji, something. Help me out.
Little contextual emoji. Yeah. Sometimes Che gets busy, doesn't check Twitter, gets on Twitter. First thing he sees, he spazzes.
Whoa! What? I was like, what?
He's passionate. But Hillary, he's gone. And last but not least, Josh Johnson.
Yes.
Bring on the Marshawn Lynch, John Gruden funk rumors, just because Josh Johnson's his boy. I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
I say that in sarcasm.
How many quarterbacks were we going to carry into the season?
Right. Johnson was there to help install Gruden's verbiage. Obviously got brought on by Gruden while he was in Tampa. And if he's gone this early, hey, that's a good sign, right?
Yeah, man. There's no controversy. There's no, he was here for exactly what we thought he was brought in for, right? He had some familiarity with Gruden and his offense, and that's it, man. That's what it was. They brought him home. They signed him for a little bit. He got to be back in Oakland. He's the Oakland boy, man. So
yeah,
it is what it is. No one expected him to make the final team. Man.
You think he's still hanging out in Oakland right now?
Probably.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
I would.
Has somebody given him a call?
Go down to Jack London, House of Chicken and Waffles down there.
There you go. There you go.
I like it down there.
He's got a lot more free time now, so
That's messed up. Maybe you can help Mo Hurst find an apartment. That'd be cool. Hey, Mo, can I just chill with you for a minute?
Hey, Mo Hurst, can I be your personal assistant, brother?
I'll split rent with you. I mean, maybe like a quarter of that. I ain't really making any money.
We're sorry, bro. We're just messing around over here, man.
No, Josh is cool. We saw him in that schedule breakdown video.
Yeah,
he's funny. He seemed like a good personality.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
But you never made it. Never gonna make it. Josh Johnson. Sorry. Peace out. Later. And I say that with love. So yeah, we got a little bit of time before Matt comes on here, and that's the quick hit segment right there.
That's it.
It's pretty quick.
That's pretty quick.
So I'll take this time to kind of reset again the YouTube stream. Not here this week, so if you're listening to this and you were thinking about going to watch it back, it's not going to be there. I also wanted to say this is our very last show on a Thursday. We're moving to Sundays next week. Somebody panicked. I saw that.
Somebody reacted like I did.
Yeah. What? If you're ever concerned, you're ever in a spot, and you're worried like that, remember, Alexa, call the police. I'm going to continue to reset that until somebody
tweets at you like, "Hey man, stop setting off my damn phone." Tired of trying to explain to these cops why they're always showed up to my house.
Okay, Google, order a gold watch. I don't know. Also want to remind people, download the Pillaging app. A lot of people hit me up. They ask, where can I hear the podcast? Now, if you already have a podcasting app and you don't want to clutter up your phone with apps, I get it, I understand. Chances are we're there. We're all over Google Music, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud, all of that. We're everywhere. In fact, I'm actually paying 2 subscriptions right now. I'm paying for the SoundCloud Pro and the Libsyn account because we had a lot. Well, we had a lot of listeners on SoundCloud. A lot of them have moved onto other platforms, but I'm going to keep that going for a little bit. The listens are kind of coming down on SoundCloud now. I think a lot of people are jumping to YouTube and to the app and probably iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play and all that. But we'll leave that up for now. But yeah, download the Pillaging app. It is available for iOS. It is available for Android. Just go on there. Just search the Pillaging Podcast. It'll come up. I think on Android it's called the Pillaging Podcast, and on iTunes it's called the Pillaging app. I'm not sure why they did that to me, but it's out there.
Okay.
I also want to ask people to leave a review. Leave a review on the app. Leave a review on iTunes. Wherever you listen, please help us out. Give us that 5-star rating. Leave a review. It's helping. I see you guys out there. There's reviews on the apps. There's reviews on iTunes, and we really, really appreciate that. And, of course, continue to call into the show for 408-909-PJFF.
Yep.
And continue to hit us up on Twitter, man. We're very interactive.
Yes, we are.
Make sure you follow Che. Che, what's your Twitter handle?
Follow me at Che_PJ4F.
That's what's up.
Very simple.
Yeah. We're not publishing a lot to Instagram because, let's face it, this is radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of images there. We'll probably ramp that up once the season starts and stuff. But you do a good job of getting some up there, you know.
I throw everything, a little something up there every now and then.
But we are on Instagram, also the Pillaging Podcast, _Pillaging_podcast. So we're on there.
Yes.
And I mean, if you just want to get on there to message us, our inbox is always open.
And we do respond there. We try to respond as much as possible there too. We got some pretty loyal followers there that hit us up just to talk Raider football, man. So we go back and forth.
Twitter inbox is open. We don't shut that stuff down until it becomes a problem. So hit us up, man. If you ever have questions or suggestions for the show, or maybe you know a player and you want to get us on. A lot of people come up to me, they're like, yo, my cousin used to date so-and-so. And I'm like, used to? Or like, what's good?
That doesn't sound promising, bro.
Did that end okay? Are you telling me there's a shot? What's up with your cousin?
Are they going to call the cops on you? Are they going to call the cops on us if we hit them up and use your name?
You know, just saying.
I had a restraining order on him.
And it looks like Cain's going to come back on this week. He had a bit of a family emergency and ended up being okay last week. So my Cain radar was going off last week. I was a little bit concerned. And the week before that, man, dude was kind of in my situation. He was just tired, working a lot of hours, working multiple jobs. So Cain's out there, man. I think he's going to be joining us tonight. It sounds like. Apologize in advance, Cain. I didn't get you prepped, and he doesn't know what we're coming at him with, but I think you should have a good idea. We haven't talked draft with Cain, so it's good to get his fire takes. We'll probably be talking draft picks.
Hell yeah.
So we got a little bit of time. Like I said, Che literally just walked in, sat down on the chair. We got right to it. So we're going to take a short break right now.
Yep.
And we're going to get ready for the Schneidman interview, and I'm going to catch up on my boy over here, and you guys sit tight, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, we're back, and we're joined by Matt Schneidman from Mercury News. Of course, you can check out all of his writings over at mercurynews.com. Follow him on Twitter at Matt Schneidman. It's spelled exactly like it sounds, lots of consonants. MATTSCHNEIDMAN for those of you that are not phonetically gifted, as am I. Welcome to the show, Matt, and thanks for joining us back on the air again. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me again. I'm honored to be a second-time guest.
There you go.
Not everybody makes the cut, Matt. I got to tell you.
I'm glad I didn't flunk my audition the first time.
And I'm glad to see that your one-time fledgling website, the Mercury News, is now a heavy hitter in the news game after your first appearance on the show. So we're happy to help. Austin Gale joined us last week, and as you know, shortly after his first appearance, he was voted PFF Analyst of the Year. So, Pillaging Podcast, we're just a podium for the greatness that is Matt Schneidman and those of your ilk. So, yes, we're glad to have you on, and we're ready to talk a little bit about the Raiders. How about you?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. First off, Derek Johnson officially signed this week. The rumor mill was turning. We knew talks were happening last week. They put pen to paper this week and actually made it happen. What are your thoughts on the Derek Johnson signing? What does he bring to the Raiders? Is this a benefit to us? How much of a risk is it? Can you help us break this signing down a little bit?
Well, we talked to Derek yesterday, and I think the big question, obviously, he's 35 years old, but he has suffered 2 season-ending Achilles injuries in the past 4 years. He claims he's back at 100%. He said this offseason training has been right back to normal because it was against the Raiders back in December 2016, week 14 or 15, I think it was. You'll have to double-check me on that, but suffered that second torn Achilles in that game. So that offseason before last season was kind of abnormal. Started 15 games, but the Chiefs decided to let him go, not pick up his last year. So it'll be interesting. I mean, he's going to be turning 36 during the season. That linebacking core is young. I know Tyre Whitehead's 28. That's considered young for the guys John Gruden has brought on. But
right.
If Navarro Bowman doesn't come back, which as time goes on, at least from my perspective, and I'm sure yours, it seems increasingly likely he doesn't. They need a veteran presence in the middle of that linebacking core with Markel Lee and Nicholas Morrow and Whitehead. And they have, James Cowser. Who knows who else is going to play in that group? You need a strong veteran presence. And Derek Johnson, if he can be a 3-down guy, which he insists that he can, that'll be a great pickup because they need linebackers who can defend against the short pass. You have running backs in the division like Melvin Gordon, like Kareem Hunt, and you have tight ends in the division like Hunter Henry and Travis Kelce. And Bowman struggled to defend against those last year when he came on in week 7. And, if Bruce Irvin is going to be doing more rushing off the edge and he's not going to be as much in that second line of defense, you need a veteran who knows how to play that. And for Derek Johnson, he hopes age is just a number, and I think the Raiders are hoping that too.
Now, assuming Johnson stays healthy, and I know his skill set and Bowman's skill set, they're different. Bowman a little more stout against the run, but Johnson more stout against the pass, like you just pointed out. To me, though, this kind of feels like an upgrade. I know that's kind of an unpopular opinion maybe amongst Raider Nation because there's a lot of diehard Bowman fans out there just off his play last season. But what are your thoughts on that, comparing and contrasting the two and how they feel a need on this team? Is it safe to say Johnson's an upgrade?
I think you could say that. You know, obviously I'm not an expert, quote unquote, but I think just like you said, Bowman was he was better against the run. And that's what they knew he could do better, and he did that. Like I said, a little shaky against the pass, but I think they knew that coming in. Johnson, TBD against the run, I think. I think, like you said, he's a little bit better against the pass.
Right.
Maybe gets into the backfield a little bit more. I don't know how much the Raiders are going to be wanting to do that, especially with the defensive front as I have. Yeah. I know Paul Gunther likes to really mix up his looks on the blitz, but with Khalil and Bruce and, you know, Mo Hurst, PJ Hall, Arden Key, I don't know how many linebackers are going to have to get into the backfield if you have a defensive line like that. But I think you could say it's an upgrade. You know, Johnson is a little bit more proven. I don't think there's too much of a difference between them. Obviously, the 4 years older is a big thing.
Right.
But clearly, I'm not going to question John Gruden if he does something. My guess, and that's all it is a guess, is I think Johnson was just willing to take less money because when we talked to him, he really seemed like, you know, he wasn't going to be picky with the situation other than he wanted a place where he could win now. You know, he said he's here because he thinks he can win now. And I think people are getting the sense because this Bowman thing isn't happening, maybe he's asking for a little too much money. So John Gruden says, you know what? I don't care. Derek Johnson's 35. He's willing to take as much money as we're willing to offer a veteran middle linebacker, and he wants to win now. Great. I like it. If he's willing to take that money and Navarro isn't, then we're going to go with him.
Yeah, I like it. And I think, I mean, it's sort of an unfair question to pose to you because it is a bit apples and oranges. They're different kinds of players. And I know Bowman's younger, but considering his previous injury history and the amount that it slowed him down, I do feel like they're comparable as far as a performance level, even though the age is different. I think Bowman isn't as fast as a 20-year-old linebacker should be, and maybe Derek Johnson has a little bit more spark than a soon-to-be 36-year-old linebacker should have. So I like the signing. I think it's good, and I think it's tremendous value, assuming he stays healthy. And at the very least, like you said, he's a veteran presence in that locker room. We definitely need an anchor. Do you see Johnson playing in the middle of that linebacking core? Do you see him moving to the outside? What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a good likelihood he plays in the middle, but he also could play on the side. You know, Tyre Whitehead is very interchangeable in that linebacking core. He could play in the middle. I think he plays probably inside. Let's say Johnson plays outside. If Johnson really likes what he sees from Markel Lee, maybe he sticks him in the middle. I know Nicholas Morrow was the best rookie in that class last year, obviously with injuries to their first two guys they picked in the draft. But Morrow's probably an outside guy or an inside guy. He's pretty versatile as well. Johnson probably fits best stereotypically in the middle, but like I said, and I know this is kind of a cop-out at the end of all my answers, but you just never know what John Gruden's going to do. Would I be surprised if it's a Markel Lee, Tyre Whitehead, Nicholas Morrow starting linebacker core to start next season? I wouldn't be shocked, but I also wouldn't be shocked if it was Navarro Bowman, Derek Johnson, and Tyre Whitehead. That wouldn't shock me either. John has said, you know, I asked him a couple weeks ago, last week, when the Johnson move was first reported, you know, is it fair to assume this closes the door on Bowman? He said, no, I mean, I wouldn't assume anything. As he said to me, you know, as you see, we've been making moves left and right. We're not done making moves. We're always looking to add help. And I think in that linebacker unit, especially, they've obviously added depth at cornerback. Adding more depth at linebacker would not be a bad idea because the linebackers actually posted a group photo from practice on Twitter today, and I was like, all right, Kyle Wilbur, James Kauser, maybe you need a little bit better depth than that.
Yeah.
So I certainly wouldn't be surprised if this really gets down to the wire and Navarro Bowman's like, well, no other team is going to give me that money, so I might as well go back to Oakland. So Yeah, I could see, to get back to your question, I definitely could see Derek Johnson playing in the middle, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't.
Right, it's not over yet, and that'd be a hell of a veteran duo right there, Bowman and Johnson. I could definitely see that happening because from what I'm hearing, there isn't really any other offers on the table for Bowman. I think he's wanting a lot more than he can get, but those stats last year covering the pass, they're glaring. I mean, they're out there. They stick out like a sore thumb. He was at the bottom of that list. So fingers crossed, maybe we can bring him in and he'll come back down to earth a little bit regarding his offer and what he's willing to take. And you're right. I think the linebacking core and the depth there is really the last spot they need to pad on this roster. So I want to talk to you about John Gruden and your impressions of him and minicamp. But before that, I know the draft is now a couple weeks old, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this year's selections. We don't have to go through all of them, but just first off, what do you think was the biggest stretch in this draft? Because the initial reaction of Raider Nation is the Raiders are reaching. You know, what was the biggest reach in your opinion?
I would probably say PJ Hall in the second round. I know they traded back for that one.
Yeah.
But the guy but this is by no means, because, you know, it took me a little while to answer that because I don't think Colton Miller was a reach at 15. I don't, you know, jury's still out on Brandon Parker. That was in the third round. So I'm going to pick the second round because I think Arden Key and Mo Hurst I think those could be big steals. So I'm going to go P.J. Hall. Obviously, he's undersized for a D tackle. That helped him block 14 kicks in his college career. It really helps him get leverage on bigger offensive linemen. He could very well be a steal there out of Sam Houston State, but I'll say him for a reach because, you know, if you're so confident that Mo Hurst, and they've said this multiple times, you know, Mo Hurst is a first-round talent, and we didn't pass him up. Well, here's what they said. They said Mo Hurst is a first-round talent, and then they've also said we have no doubts about his health. So if you think Mo Hurst is a first-round talent and you have no doubts about his health, why did you not take him until the fifth round? Why did you take a Sam Houston State defensive tackle before him? If you think Mo Hurst is a first-round talent and he falls to the second round and you have no doubts about his health, why not take him in the second round? So that's the only reason I'm going P.J. Hall, because if they take that defensive tackle first over Mo Hurst, it makes me feel like it's a little bit of a stretch because they feel that strongly about Hurst. And as we know, there are some mammoth offensive linemen in this league on every single team. And, you know, getting leverage on linemen on teams that Sam Houston State plays is a hell of a lot different than in the NFL. I know he played in, I believe it was the East-West Shrine game, and that was some stiffer competition, but still, you just never know how that size will translate to the NFL. I'm sure he'll be a serviceable player, but just given where they picked him, if they picked him in the fifth round, that would be my answer. But second round, maybe a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, your philosophy there is sound. I think. I think that theory is pretty sound. There's probably some people that disagree with you too. I know there's a lot of folks really excited about PJ Hall, but let's remember before this draft, nobody was really checking for PJ Hall.
Right.
I like the way he's built. I like the short, stout players right there. And yes, some of those stats jump out, especially those block kicks. But, you know, you said it well. He played for Sam Houston State. How does that transfer over? And now I think the counter to the Maurice Hurst situation is, you know, teams are pretty vocal about how they felt regarding Maurice Hurst's health issues. And I think that buzz was getting around teams. And so, you know, whether or not he was going to be there in the fifth, was a bit of a gamble, but that's likely why they waited on him. But yeah, I think putting it all together the way that you did, I think that explanation is sound. And, I think a lot of people did think that Colton Miller was a stretch at first, but when you really start to think about it and the division we're in and the pass rushers we're up against, what the hell else were you going to do? If you're going to wait until the later rounds to draft an offensive lineman in this draft, congratulations. You just got yourself two more definite project offensive linemen that may or may not pan out. We've been doing that the last few years now, so you got to go and get the best ones that are available to you, and that's what they did. So who's the biggest slam dunk in this draft, in your opinion?
This may be an unpopular opinion, and this might be a cop-out of an answer, but I'm going to say Colton Miller. The only reason I say slam dunk is, in slam dunk to me, maybe a little bit of a surprise. I think he's going to be great. And, getting to know him a little bit, I know people really didn't like the pick because Derwin James was on the board and Tremaine Edmonds was on the board, and they traded back and they wanted McGlinchey, but PFF says he's the 38th best pass blocking offensive tackle in the draft or whatever. But this is a guy who, had experience protecting Josh Rosen, and this is a guy who's super athletic, who can move his feet. And I know those are just a couple small bits of it, but he is a mammoth. And talking to him and getting to know him, I really like what he's all about. And I know that's only one piece of the puzzle, but I think this is a slam dunk in terms of he's really going to exceed the expectations of what fans set out for him. And maybe I did at first, because when they picked him, I was like, oh boy, this is the one name that I saw pop up on Twitter for whatever it's worth before the draft is, oh, Raider fans really hope they don't pick this guy.
Right.
Because, for whatever reason, he got around as, they can pick anyone else, McGlinchey, whoever. It just can't be Colton Miller, because they say, if they have to go offense, they want to go McGlinchey. But I think Colton Miller starts at right tackle. I don't know how much Donald Penn has left in those feet, left in those legs, not just because of his age, but because of his injury.
Yeah.
I think Colton Miller is going to be left tackle here, not too far in advance, and I think that's going to be a slam dunk. Just because, they took him at 15, I think he's going to live up to that value, if not more than that, and really exceed people's expectations.
Yeah, and I said it last week. John Gruden said it himself. You don't get offensive tackles that size with that athletic ability in free agency. They just don't end up there. So you got to get him in the draft. Miller, could we have waited on him until the second? Possibly, but you never know. It was a wacky draft, right? So
I think he would. I think he would have been well gone by number 41.
And you got to believe that the Raiders did their due diligence and tried to probably trade back even further. That's the trade they got. They ended up flipping it for Martavis Bryant. I think good things came out of the whole situation. And like you said, if he lives up to his potential, even if he's not lives up to a 15th pick overall potential, if he lives up to a first round offensive tackle potential, that's all you need right there.
Yep.
That's a perennial pro bowler in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And so and it addressed the need. I think, after Sunday, when you step back and you look at the big picture, you can finally say, you know what, that wasn't a terrible pick after all. And of course, we got to wait and see on that. But, they addressed the need and they got the biggest guy out there. And so now with some perspective, I'm not mad at it. Are you mad at it, Che?
No, man. Like I said, we had to digest it, right? We had to take it in, sit back the rest of that weekend, and then finally look at the entire draft as a whole and say, okay, wait a minute, this turned out pretty well.
Yeah,
we got some steals late in the later rounds, and then we took maybe what people thought were stretches, but they were definite needs.
Yeah,
and like you said, you're not going to wait till the 6th, 7th round or to the undrafted free agents to take a tackle when you have a humongous hole on that side.
Absolutely. And I like what a lot of people have been saying too. The draft isn't so bad if you just flip the list upside down.
That's what people were saying. They were saying Mo Hurst, Arden Key, Brandon Parker, PJ Hall, Colton Miller. I know Nick Nelson's in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny that people were saying that.
Yeah, it was pretty accurate, So it was an interesting draft strategy, and it worked out for them. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, who's your dark horse in this draft? Who's the guy that you think can actually step up and make somewhat of an impact? Not necessarily a Pro Bowler or starter even, but maybe the guy that we're overlooking or just isn't getting enough credit. Do you have a guy that fits that title as a dark horse?
I think Marcel Aitman. I think he could be an interesting guy because he's not quick. He ran, I think, a 4.61 at the combine, but he's a big body guy. And the Raiders' top goal line threat from last year was Michael Crabtree, and he's no longer here. I know they have Martavis Bryant, big body, could go up and catch a fade in the end zone. I know they have Jordy Nelson. He's capable of that too. Amari Cooper, probably not a goal line guy as much as he is an open field guy, run and blow past someone. Marcel Aitman isn't going to run and blow past someone, but when the Raiders get on the goal line, and if Marshawn Lynch isn't working, Aitman, I think, is a big body guy who can really go up and and catch a couple touchdowns to just go in the game in red zone packages. So I know they have 12 receivers on this roster, and I think Ryan Switzer is going to be an important part. I think Dwayne Harris could be a neat part to this offense. But I think Aitman finds his niche on the team as a nice goal line guy who gets a couple touchdowns this year.
I like that pick. I was actually expecting you to say Nick Nelson, but when you say Aitman, it makes sense, and it kind of fills that James Jones position, right? Mm-hmm. Derek Carr's favorite target when he first got here. Big dude, seemed to show up in goal line offense quite a bit. I'm feeling that. I think Aitman in a goal line package. I like that look. Yeah, that wide receiver.
Picking Nelson fit.
What's that?
Picking a cornerback for that would make me way too liable.
Yeah,
I can't pick a cornerback for a dark horse. That's putting my reputation of guesses at way too high of a risk.
Yes, accurate AF.
We understand.
So out of this bunch, who's the guy that doesn't make the squad? And I know that's tough because, generally you like to keep all of your picks, but who's the guy that, maybe doesn't make this, maybe doesn't get cut, maybe ends up on the practice squad or just gets buried on the depth chart? If you got to pick one more name out of this group, who's the guy? Is it PJ Hall?
No, I think he makes it. I think all the draft picks make it. That's tough.
That's fair.
And I can't go into
that's an answer.
I want to go into the undrafted. I mean, I think Johnny Townsend's going to be the funner. I think Azim Victor, he could even get some minutes at middle linebacker. John Gruden really likes him as a middle linebacker. Mm-hmm. I think Nelson gets in there. I mean, I think led the nation with 21 passes broken up last year.
Yeah.
God, like I said, I think my answer might be Aitman. Again, I think he probably has the biggest potential to surprise based on current expectations out of the draft picks. I know I said Colton Miller, that was my prediction, but I think Marcel Aitman could surprise some people as well. But I also think he could very well get caught up in that wide receiver cluster and fall to, number 6, number 7 on the pecking order behind Johnny Holton, behind, Cooper, Nelson, Bryant, Switzer, Harris. So, he's definitely a candidate to be a dark horse, a goal line threat, but I also think he could definitely fall into oblivion there on that massive wide receiver depth chart they have right now.
Yeah, that is a big group.
So Matt, am I hearing this correctly? Are you telling me that we're going to have Johnny Holton on our roster again this season?
No, I don't think so.
I hope not, man, because I've been waiting for this guy to get to get cut. I'm sorry, I'm ready for us to trim the fat.
I forgot about Seth Roberts too.
Seth Roberts too, man.
Yeah. Who would actually?
I think if Seth Roberts is in your top 4, then you have a problem. I think wide receivers should, if all goes according to plan, should look Cooper, Nelson, Bryant, Switzer, Aitman, number 5. Roberts just doesn't cut it for me, and maybe he doesn't cut it for the Raiders either. If they take a 6, who knows, maybe Isaac Whitney from USC. I know they pulled him up to the 53-man. He's younger, but Seth Roberts,
right.
Johnny Holton, really, he's only a deep threat, and he had a couple drops last year. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how that group pans out. And Dwayne Harris, because they might have him as their return man. So definitely some guys, some familiar names that are not gonna make it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to build a bigger wide receiver room because it's crowded. Since you brought up Holton, Shay, the Cuddy name Johnny Holton, the Cuddy player that I'm interested to see what he can do on this team is Farrell Brown as a tight end.
Okay.
I think that he's kind of a sleeper that can show up. I don't know, that's not in this year's crop, but I'm just throwing it out there. Just saying it right now, guys. Farrell Brown.
Okay.
But I think he needs to change his number. There should only be one 81 with the Brown on the back.
Yeah, there shouldn't be another 81 with the last name Brown.
Yeah, I mean, how delusional could he be when he walks into the stadium like, everyone's wearing my jersey? I mean, he knows better, but maybe he tells his kids that. I don't know. So, Matt, did you attend the rookie minicamp that just concluded?
Yeah, we were only allowed to be there for the first day, so not all 3, but I was there for the first day, and then the top 5 draft picks aside from Nelson talked and Gruden also talked. Got to watch about 30 minutes of glorified practice with 40 other tryout guys who we didn't know who they were because the Raiders aren't allowed to announce those guys. But yeah, just one day.
Yeah, it's I understand that you got to watch like some individual drills. You didn't get to see any like team drills or anything like that. But what was the vibe out there? Did you pick up on anything? Did it have a different feel? What were you feeling out there?
You know, at least for me, John Gruden pacing around those stretching lines and barking out stuff and making jokes just feels way different than Jack Del Rio doing it. There's a different vibe. There's a different aura around practice. There's, you know, I don't want to say Jack Del Rio didn't hold everyone accountable and keep everyone on edge, but I think everyone gets a sense, you know, John Gruden is a loose cannon, and that's not a bad thing, you know.
Yeah.
You never know what he's going to do, and you got to come ready to play every single day. You know, we saw Corey James. I know he failed the physical, but that's a guy who could have started. He's gone. You know,
right.
Latham gone. And I know these aren't, you know, big surprises, but you just never know what news and what move is going to pop up here and there. And there just seems like an energy. Like John Gruden is here to win a championship next year. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Right.
I do think the Raiders get back to the playoffs, but there's a reason John Gruden chose Oakland. There's a reason, you know, Jordy Nelson, Martavis Bryant, Derek Johnson are in Oakland because this team has the names to really make some noise and be that team that everyone thought they could be last year.
Yeah.
And add in John Gruden. I know people say, you know, 9 years away from coaching, da-da-da-da-da. But this is a guy that all these guys love. And, you know, seeing Marshawn Lynch and John Gruden out there getting along, and I know that was a big deal. It just seems like a new vibe, a new aura, a new energy around this team just because of the coach change and how everyone's really bought into that.
Yeah, I never sweated the Lynch-Gruden dynamic. I thought they'd get along great.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah. But it sounds to me like just coming from you and a couple of the, you know, watching the interviews, you know, reading a couple other articles out there, that John Gruden absolutely has not lost one bit of intensity.
Not at all.
I've heard he's cleaned up his language a little bit. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that, but that's not what matters.
He hasn't slipped up with us yet.
Okay.
But he every press conference he's guaranteed to give you a good soundbite, a good tidbit, a good joke. You know, he was joking last Friday. It was last Friday. You know, just he's in the process of trying to wait out which media members are bad and which ones are good. I'm lucky because my beat partner Jerry McDonald, him and John go way back because Jerry has been covering the team since before the 1995 season, which was the month before I was born. I was born May 1995, and Jerry was covering the team before I was born. So he covered John Gruden's first stint here. You know, he only knows Jerry by name right now, but John Gruden, great with the media, great with us, already making jokes. So I'm definitely excited to be covering him.
Yeah, and I saw he was kind of under attack. There was an air raid during one of his interviews. There's a lot of airplanes flying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get when the Oakland airport is 2 feet away.
Yeah, no doubt. You tell Jerry we said hi. We're big fans of Jerry, and when you dropped that line about your birthday, Che's beard instantly turned white. We feel much older now, Matt. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm almost 23. I'm getting up there. Don't worry.
Oh, watch out now.
You mentioned a couple of the cuts. Latham, Corey James, Elijah Hood was cut. He was always kind of on the fringe anyways. Was there any of those guys that surprised you that they were cut? Even as depth players, was there anybody that surprised you?
You know, I guess Corey James, but it would have surprised me more if Corey James was cut with a non-injury designation. It was because he failed the physical. We knew he had those knee issues that ended his season last year. This wasn't a cut, but I mean, I didn't think Jihad Ward was going to make the team. I was surprised they traded him that quickly, and I was shocked they got Ryan Switzer in return because he can be a kick returner and a punt returner and a nice slot receiver. And Jihad Ward was going to have zero role on this team. And the fact that the Cowboys were willing to give up Ryan Switzer for Jihad Ward probably speaks more to the Cowboys' need for an interior pass rush than anything else. Jihad Ward was probably the poster boy for John Gruden's sayings in the past couple months of we need more out of our last 3 draft classes.
Yeah.
And Jihad Ward, that second-round pick in 2016, did absolutely nothing. So the Raiders had to be absolutely thrilled to get something. Like, the Cowboys could have sent them a sack of extra kicking tees, and they probably would have been happy. But to get Ryan Switzer, a guy who is probably going to make the 53-man roster, they had to be thrilled. But I would say how early they got rid of him, and I know it was a trade, I know it wasn't a cut. I think that would probably be the most eye-opening.
Yeah, if you told me that we were going to trade Jihad Ward for anything, I was shocked too. You think you're shocked? Talk to a Dallas Cowboys fan. They are wilding out. They're still sitting in their recliners.
They're probably going to play Jihad Ward at receiver. That's probably what they need him for.
Interesting strategy.
Catch him in the slot.
Yeah.
So I put out on Twitter today, somebody was talking about embarrassing Raiders jerseys. And so I had retweeted them and I said, Raider Nation, what are some of the most embarrassing Raider jerseys out there still in circulation? Do you have anything you want to add to that conversation, Matt?
I haven't seen too many.
Yeah.
I think if anyone has a Jihad Ward jersey, that would be pretty embarrassing. But my dad was a big Raider fan growing up, so he knows a bunch of the old timers. Mm-hmm. I'm afraid to, sound like a clown, and even, I know names, but I'm afraid to sound like a clown and put out any, just because, I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up around the New York Giants. So the Raiders' history, as rich as it is, has evaded me for the early part of my life. Obviously, I've caught up to it now that I'm covering the team, but none have really caught my eye. Maybe that's just because I wasn't alive when they were really booming, but that's definitely an interesting question. And with these new age Raiders, I bet some people bought some jerseys last year or the year before with all the hype around this team, and now John Gruden comes in, wipes that player off the team, and now they're looking pretty silly.
Yeah, that dude out there with the Darius Latham jersey, he's sad right now. In the future,
Darius Hayward Bay, maybe.
That's a good one. That's a good pull right there. That's a good call right there.
I've seen like a couple of those, so that answer counts, and that's a fantastic answer. I was going to say next time somebody asks you that, just go with Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
After the Raiders picked Colton 15th, obviously not being historically educated in anger around Raiders first-round picks, I just threw out a question, or asked Jerry, I think it was, when is the last time a fan base, obviously Twitter hasn't been around for too long, but when is the last time a fan base has been this irate about a first-round pick a day after the draft? And the unanimous answer was Darius Hayward Bay.
Yeah, that's accurate. I think most folks were excited about Carl Joseph. If not excited, then not pissed off. And of course, there was Mac and Cooper. So it's been a pretty good run. But yeah, I think that's accurate. What do you say, Che? Is there anybody else out there?
Oh, nice. Huh? Come on now. There's a lot of them out there.
I mean, more the most recent. I think that's probably.
I think most recent, that would be it. Rolando McClain?
Yeah.
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 We could put that one up there. How about our little Robert Gallery?
Yeah.
Although I don't know that people were that upset about Robert Gallery. I think we just gradually got mad as he did pan out.
Some of the other coaching staff that's out there, Paul Guenther looks really happy to be in charge of this defense. Did you get any kind of impression from Paul or for Tom Cable being back in Oakland as he is? I know Raider Nation is really mixed on Tom Cable right now, but did you get any impressions from the rest of the staff? Do they seem happy to be here? Are they approachable? What are your thoughts?
We haven't talked to any of the other coordinators. That'll be coming up later in the offseason when we get to talk to Guenther, Greg Olson. I know he was Derek Carr's offensive coordinator back in his rookie year. Rich Bisaccia. I think it's very clear that Rich Bisaccia, Tom Cable, Paul Guenther, Greg Olson have all had a big influence on who the Raiders have brought in during free agency. You look at Rich Bisaccia alone. Switzer.
Yeah.
I know. Maybe he didn't have that big of a role on Bisaccia's special teams, but Switzer from the Cowboys, Keith Smith from the Cowboys on special teams, Dwayne Harris played for Bisaccia on the Cowboys.
Right.
There's one more. I'm missing one more from the Cowboys. I'll remember it. But, Paul Gunther, Leon Hall, Reggie Nelson, guys who have played for the Bengals before. And then Tom Cable obviously had a huge influence in bringing Colton Miller in, probably the biggest influence out of anyone in that building. And then Breno Giacomini, I know, veteran right tackle, played in Seattle. So all these coaches, really, you can see. John Gruden, people were saying, $100 million, he can be a dictator, just do what he wants. He clearly has his ears open to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even Reggie McKenzie. I know that's the one that people have been questioning the most, but I definitely think, at least on the surface, you can see Bisaccia's influence, you can see Gunther's influence, you can see Tom Cable's influence, and I guess it's refreshing to see, at least from a Raiders view. I know I'm supposed to be objective, but that Gruden is taking into account all these coaches' past and what they also want to see on their units.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really buying into
that. Kyle Wilber. Kyle Wilber
was
the Cowboys linebacker who played on Bisaccia teams in Dallas.
I'm not buying into the Gruden McKenzie funk. Some people are saying McKenzie's a lame duck or GM only in title, but if you really look at this draft, his fingerprints are on it too. A guy like PJ Hall in the second round, that screams a Reggie McKenzie project right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. So before we let you go, Matt, we did our season kind of predictions prior to the draft, and I'm not going to drag you through the whole schedule, but if you had to say what if you had to say what the Raiders' floor is and what their ceiling is for next year, what would be the numbers there?
Ceiling, I would probably say 11-5, and that's a really high ceiling.
Shay's nodding his head over. He's very proud because that was his prediction.
Floor, I think 6-10 again.
Okay.
What do I think they're going to go? I think they go 9-7 or 10-6. I'm going to say 10-6.
Okay.
I think this season will not start off on a good note against the Rams because I think the Rams are very good, and that is going to be, let's say it's Donald Penn, Colton Miller as the two tackles. Even with the Raiders having arguably the best interior offensive line, Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald. Yeah. Now they have Brandon Cooks, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley. I don't think the Raiders will be ready for that. I know it's like Raiders, Rams, John Gruden, primetime Monday Night Football in Oakland. I think they'll start 0-1. I haven't combed through the full schedule, given my exact wins and losses, but there are some definite tough matchups on there. I think they'll beat the Browns, but even the Browns are on a rollover this year. At least I don't think yet, but I think 10-6. Maybe I'm being a little bit optimistic, but I think the Raiders will do better than last year.
Yeah, fair enough. That's about where I had them, 9-7, 10-6. I think their floor is probably 8-8 or 7-9, that low. But you never know. In the NFL, anything can happen. And if you're going to get punched in the mouth, it might as well be week one and then wake the hell up and do some damage.
Right.
So just one more thing before you go, actually, because you kind of brought this to mind. You'd mentioned the Raiders getting back into the playoffs. This year, if that were to happen, is it as a division champion or is it as a wild card?
Ooh, I like that question.
I think it's as a division champion. I don't think the Chiefs are as good as they were last year. Losing Marcus Peters, losing Alex Smith. I don't really know how Patrick Mahomes is going to do. I know he's shown good spurts in when he played last year. I know he has a rocket of an arm, but that is a something that I'm having a hard time putting my finger on.
Yeah.
The Broncos, I don't think Case Keenum can replicate what he did in Minnesota last year. The Chargers. They're the Chargers. I know they had a big run there late in the season last year. I know, they have arguably the best pass rush in football with Joey Bosa and Ingram. I think, the AFC West might not be the best division in football like it started off last year as, but I think it'll be the tightest race. I think the Broncos will be improved. They got Bradley Chubb. They have Case Keenum now. I think that's an improvement over what they had. I still don't think Keenum is going to replicate what he did last year, but I think if the Raiders make the playoffs, it'll be as a division champion, but they don't run away with the division. I don't think anyone's expecting them to do that, but I think the picks could be all over the place in the AFC West this year.
Yeah, fair enough. Realistic, right, Jay?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Cool.
That's how we like it. Yes. Realistic.
Yes, sir. That's why we get the big names on this show.
That's right.
The guys that make the big bucks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let you get back to your palatial castle there in the Bay Area.
And when you do receive your award, which is it's coming up pretty soon after this appearance, make sure you give us a nice shout out, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. You guys can turn on ESPN 8 The Ocho and check my my acceptance speech.
The Ocho.
I like it. Well, thanks again, Matt. We really enjoyed talking to you, and hopefully we can catch up with you again maybe as we get closer to training camps and stuff like that and just kind of check in and pick your brain. And hope you're doing well, and good luck to you, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it as always.
Have a good one. Take care, man.
You too.
Matt, jovial as ever.
Yeah, man.
He's a good sport.
It's good, yeah. You know, he runs with the punches, man.
I like it.
Yeah.
And he throws them back, too.
He throws them back, too.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like Matt. Like I said, the up-and-comers are where it's at. And that's no disrespect to his partner, Jerry McDonald. Jerry McDonald's a goddamn OG in the game. Respect to Jerry McDonald. I'd love to get him on the air. In fact, try to get him on the air, and that's how we landed Matt Schneidman, because he referred his boy Matt. He's like, I don't really do the podcast thing, but Matt will do it for you. And I was like, cool, right on. And then, so we got a great partnership with Matt now.
We got 2 great interviews out of it, so.
Yeah.
And more to come.
More to come. Speaking of more to come, we got your calls to listen to, and we got Raider Cain. I just texted with him right now, so he's going to be ready for the next segment. And so a big second half to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
We out, you.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Kenny Che, what's up? It's your boy 303 calling from beautiful, warm, sunny Colorado. What's going on, man? It's a slow time of the year, but we got some action here at Raider Nation. Looks like we cut Josh Johnson, not a surprise. He made $45,000 for a couple months, not bad. Came in and I guess talked to Carr real quick, and then Chucky said get the hell out of here. And then Derek Johnson from the Chiefs. I mean, I still think Bowman got a little bit more juice in him. Can do a little bit more, but Gruden wants a veteran presence at that middle linebacker position, just like when he had Derek Brooks in Tampa Bay. So, we'll see what happens in training camp. The draft pick that we got, the linebacker Victor, forget what's his first name or last name. Anyway, he has some serious potential. Got in trouble in college, and then he had an injury, but this guy could have serious potential. We'll see. 7th round pick, you never know. Excited about the football season. Can't wait for it to come. On a side note, coming out to Oakland for Dove's Rockets, Game 6. Now, I won't be mad if we ended in 5, but I'll be there. I think that's when we clinch it. But anyway, go Raiders, go Doves. This is 303. I'm out.
Guys, Podunk Raider. Hey, been seeing a lot of negativity about number 56, our new starting linebacker. I got to tell you guys, living here in Missouri, I've seen a lot of DJ play, and I got to argue with the guys who say that he's lost a step, or that he's injury prone because of some stuff he sustained a few years back. He's still a player. He's got some juice in the tank. I like that, he's saying Gruden was a factor in signing here, and it seems like he's fired up. And a lot of the naysayers are saying, we could, have signed Navarro Bowman, and we don't know at this point if Bowman still wants to play, or what his contract demands are. So I think it's foolish to say, that we didn't try hard enough with Bowman. We don't know what he's asking for. If it was double the amount of DJ, and then DJ becomes a great player for the next year or two, then I think, we come out smelling like roses. So it sounds like Paul Gunther's scheme is linebacker friendly from everything we've been hearing. So I'm anxious to see what happens. I think it's a good move. I think we could use his leadership. I think he's going to make the rookie linebacker that we got, who's now number 57, a lot better. So anyway, I think it's a good move. Bring on the hate. See ya.
Yo, what up, fellas? It's Don Cole from Queens giving y'all what's up. I just looking at these crazy prognosticators saying that we're going to finish last in the division. We're going to be in the top 10 when it comes to the draft. I hope John got this on Bill and Board watch. Can't wait for us to dominate like we surely can and we surely will. And Bowman, see, that's what you get for playing games. You try to play chicken and all of a sudden now you're laying an egg right now. DJ took your spot. Now you can watch it and watch us dominate. Super Bowl soon, Super Bowl soon. I'm out.
Kenny, Jay, it's the WAP. Man, I don't know what is going on, but I'm starting to like some of the things that I'm seeing with this team. I was listening to this interview with John Gruden, and he was talking about how most of the guys that he has picked up that everyone's pretty much calling out old are guys that are still studs. They're still playing at a high level. Like Derek Johnson, man, that dude's a baller. I like Navarro Bowman, but I'm cool with Derek Johnson. I am not upset about that at all. If we also keep Bowman, that's a plus, but if we don't, it's a business, and you could tell that this guy is trying to win and he's trying to bring motivated people, and that's what this team needs. I mean, shit, for a long time, that team was so fucking disorganized, and it's just unbelievable. Now we're starting to get some respect back on that name, like it used to be, and I'm looking forward to it. I think everybody should just kind of sit back and let things kind of pan out and see what we end up at the end. For some reason, I'm thinking Jalen Richard and D. Wash might not make it as running back. One of those two is going, and I'm probably going Richard just because I know last year we all like to put it on Del Rio and the whole team just being completely messed up, but there were some people on that team that just every time Jalen Richard picked up that ball, I was, momentum killers, game killers, the fumbles. The guy's just got to go. His favorite candy is Butterfingers, and we need Snickers, man, so get his ass out of there. I also think Doug Martin's going to be a sleeper. I think we got some things going, and they have him marked down as a halfback, too, so he might not be what we expect. This team looks great. Martavius Bryant, come on. I am a little worried about Donald Penn not making left tackle, though. That does kind of worry me. I think we got... Hopefully, we can train up Miller, but it'd be nice to get a veteran left tackle if we could. Good luck. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.
Good morning, Kenny. It's a beautiful summer's day here. Grog. Let me tell you something. Grog, it is watered down rum. You're correct. Spot on. But it comes from a man called Edward Vernon, who kicked the asses of the Spanish on the Spanish Main. He captured the place of Portobello, which is now modern Panama, and they named Portobello Road in London because of him. And that's famous around Notting Hill and that film with Hugh Grant. Anyway, the point is, he used to wear a waistcoat when he was on his ship, made out of a woolen material, very thick, which is called grogum. And he was the first man who was issuing rum to the sailors on board, and of course watered down. And he was nicknamed the Old Grog. And if you drank too much rum, you became groggy, or drunk, pissed as we'd say in the UK. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't say that I'm from the UK because it annoys you. But anyway, that's the story of grog. And of course it's passed down into pirate folklore. But it was originally issued in the Royal Navy. So there you go. A little bit of a history chat. Hope you're well. look after yourself, and I'm enjoying the podcast as usual. I was just listening to it this morning at home. Okay, take care. Say hi. Go Raiders.
And we're back. Respond to these callers right now for you guys. Appreciate the call-ins. 5 solid calls this week. First off, 303 Raider. Appreciate the weather updates out there in Colorado.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it's beautiful and sunny. It's beautiful and sunny here too, brother.
Yes, it is.
I made $45,000 last year. So what's up, Josh Johnson? Big bank, take little bank. Now I'm going to lose that battle every time. Victor is your sleeper. Hey, I like it, man. If the guy steps up, we need the depth there. Another guy, we didn't mention this at the top of the show, and I wanted to. Arden Key is a guy that's been pointed out as having character issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk a little bit about that because when you really dive into it, the issues weren't violent. Yeah, I know he smoked some weed in college. A lot of us did. I'm not naming any names, but there's, it happens.
Yes, it does. It happens often, actually.
So he got popped for that, and then I know he was having some depression issues.
Yeah.
He was questioning whether or not he wanted to play the game. It was more mental health issues than anything. The Raiders have a terrific life coach. I think that he'll be fine with that. The fact that he entered the draft tells me he does want to play the game.
Yep.
And, he came back. He didn't have quite the same year his last season as he did his first season. A lot of distractions there. Reasons for it. There was some injury there as well. So good reasons why the downward kind of tick in production. But I'm not worried about Arden Key. I'm pretty excited about him. But the one thing is, he's got a smaller frame right now when you look at him. But the exciting thing there is he can bulk up and be a bigger player and still maintain that athletic ability. So I sidetrack a little bit, but 303, you reminded me I wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
So, these guys have their bumps, but I don't think it's anything too shocking.
No, and you got a group of vets that are willing to take these guys under their wings too. Bruce Irvin has been a big spokesman of that, right? He's been one of the guys that stood up and said, "I want to take some people under my wing, make sure that we keep these guys on track." And that's great, man. That's the great thing about having veterans, on your team.
Absolutely. There's no more enthusiastic Raider than Bruce Irvin.
Yeah.
So, what a great coach to have. Another life coach on the Raiders, if you will. But man, 303. Glad to hear you're coming out for the playoff game. As you know, I only made $45K last year, so I can't afford that ticket. But hit me up when you're out here in the Bay. If you're going to stay for a few days, maybe we can link up. It's always good to hang out with you, man. Podunk Raider, thanks for calling in. Good call. Miss you guys on the blog. It's been real busy. My computer access is restricted at work, and I'm often in my car, so I don't like to blog and drive at the same time. But I'm going to get on there this weekend. I'm going to see you guys. I need to get back on my own blog, man. I miss the community. I miss it really bad. I know there's probably some people on there saying, "Oh, Kenny's just too busy for us now, or too big for us now." They joke around like that. I'm not saying I am. I'm not, man. I'm just slammed, dude. I just can't get on there. So I miss you guys. You guys are my friends. I need to get back on there. But to your point, Gruden is a factor. He will continue to be a factor. The one thing I can't wait to see is his play calling.
Yep.
Will it be revamped? Will it be some of the old? Will it be some new? I think it's going to be pretty innovative.
I think so, too.
Right?
I'm excited, man.
He's a creative guy.
Yes, he is.
Don from Queens, man. You're becoming like a weekly caller, which we like. Short, sweet phone call. Shots fired at Bowman. What'd you think about that?
Hey, man. He has. You can't argue that he doesn't have a point, right?
Nope.
He has a point, man. He has a point. Hey, you waited. Somebody else stepped up and said, "Hey, if you don't take it, I will."
Yeah.
But like we've touched on earlier in the show, if we can get them both back, man, I wouldn't be mad at that either.
No, not at all. And you know what, Navarro, you got yourself a nice little contract last year. You made a nice little piece of change there. I know the Niners paid you out well. We'll see, man. We'll see. But if you got to sit on the sidelines and watch the greatness that is the Oakland Raiders, well, that's on you, Jack.
You remember you chose that. Remember you chose that.
This is the path you have chosen. Wop Raider, another weekly caller, one of my favorite callers, quickly becoming a new favorite caller.
Yeah.
I like your personality, man. GIF game is on point.
Yeah, it is.
He's a good follow on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow Wop Raider. Follow all these guys, man. But Wop Raider, you're fun to interact with. Very positive this week. That's the new trend this week is positivity.
Positivity.
You hearing that?
Yeah.
How things change, right? But I'd rather have these vets that we have now than guys like Reggie Nelson. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
We have Reggie Nelson still. But, you know what I'm saying. And you're absolutely right. Put some respect on our name. I put respect on Che's name all the time.
Thank you, man. I put respect on yours, too.
I appreciate that. Respect on Cain's name. Respect on Raider Nation.
That's right.
Yeah, we need to earn that back, and I think this is the year we do it. More than we need a Snickers bar at running back, we need Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. They come 2 in a package. Charlie Garner, Tyler Wheatley.
There you go.
That's 2.
I like it, man.
And it's also my favorite candy. How do you feel about chocolate and peanut butter?
I love it, man. I mean, what's not to like?
Good answer.
What's not to like?
I haven't met a person that doesn't like chocolate and peanut butter.
It makes sense to me, man.
I've met a few people that don't like pizza.
Yeah, they got a problem.
I don't understand that.
They got a problem.
Yeah.
I've met people with some strange, specific meals or whatever that they just they don't eat certain things, man. And I always just look at them like they're crazy. Like, you serious? Serious?
I don't trust people that don't drink coffee. How about that?
That's a hot take right there, man.
Hot.
You better start drinking some damn coffee, people. Kenny don't trust you.
If you don't drink coffee, at me on Twitter. I need to talk to you about this. I'm going to put you up on game. And lastly, from the UK, I love the grog history. That was a nice little history lesson.
Yes, it was.
I'm glad to see that I was right. I was kind of winging it there.
Yeah.
I thought I'd read that maybe somewhere. But yeah, man, grog. By the way, don't water down your rum. They're on pirate ships. They got to make that shit last. Drink rum straight up. What do you drink rum?
Yes.
What kind of rum do you drink?
I mean, obviously you're gonna drink some Bacardi from every now and then, just because it's cheap generally, and it's in abundance at the stores. It's
got a cool bat too. I like the bat.
Yeah. I don't know that I've had any real fancy rums, but at one point I had a buddy of mine that went to Jamaica, came back with a bottle of Jamaican rum.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty good, man.
I bet
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we went through that pretty quick.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did. That's the way a pirate drinks it. That's why you got to water it down.
That's right.
When you're on a pirate ship. I met a girl once that had a Bacardi bat tramp stamp tattoo.
How'd that go?
You know damn well how that went, and it should have been a red flag.
Yeah.
She was batshit crazy. I'm a Sailor Jerry guy myself.
Sailor Jerry's good too, man. I can't complain about Sailor Jerry's.
And it's 100 proof.
Yeah.
Kick it up a notch.
It'll get you.
It'll get you.
It'll get you.
So yeah, those are our callers. Nice little segment there.
Mm-hmm.
Che, how come you never call into the show, man? That'd be funny, huh?
Hi, this is Che. Just wanted to give you guys my take. You guys do a great show, by the way. It's fabulous, man. I mean, best podcast in the nation.
You're damn right. I'm gonna put my dad out there, Raider Roy. Call in the show, Dad.
Yeah.
I want to hear that. We're gonna have him on this. I've been saying that, but we're setting some time aside in June or July for some fans, and you best believe he's gonna be in studio.
That's right.
He's got stories for you. We're gonna talk about how my dad became a Raider fan. That's a good story.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to him about his trip down to the L.A. Coliseum.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll talk to him about that.
It's gonna be some good ones, man.
Maybe the time he went to Jim Plunkett's house.
Oh.
Yeah. He finessed that deal.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be a long segment.
I got to hear that story. I want to know what the secret was. How he worked his way in there, man.
And my dad likes to talk, so he's going to be a good guest. He's not shy, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll play us a little song too.
That'd be dope too.
That would be cool.
Get on that guitar.
That's it. He'll play us out. So 666. If you listen to that show and "Gone" isn't the last song, it's a one-time thing. See if we can get him to play us out.
That'd be dope.
That'd be cool, right?
That'd be dope.
All right, man. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with the return of Cain's Corner.
Yeah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Peace.
All right, and we're back with Cain's Corner, sponsored by NFLShop.com. Every week, go to PJ4F.com, click through the banner, buy yourself a jersey.
Yeah.
Keep this pirate ship on the water. In fact, I'm going to lead off with that. Out of this draft class, Cain, if you had to go out and cop a jersey, whose jersey would it be out of this year's draft class?
Ooh, if I was going to cop a jersey from this draft class, it would probably be Arden Key, because I like 99.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah, I like that number. Yeah. So I'm going to have to say Arden Key.
That's a good name on the back of a jersey, too. That's a good look. Because we'll be getting keyed up at tailgate. Nah, we don't. No, we're not hitting them key shots. We're not. But we put them down, though. We put down the beers, though.
Hell yeah, we do.
Keyed up like
that.
Yeah. Amongst other things.
Oh, yeah.
We leave that to your imagination. So the last time we spoke to you, it's been a couple weeks. We're glad to have you back. We missed you. The fans missed you. You're pretty critical day one. I think most of us were. I think, the wind kind of came out of the sails. But after day 2 and 3, now that we get to see the full picture, what are your final thoughts on this whole draft class? Like what's your gut feeling now? Where are you sitting with this after everything's said and done?
You know what? I really like the draft. I like what we did in the draft. I was real upset with the first pick, I'll admit, but after I thought about it, and I remembered a conversation that we had a week before the draft, and I remember saying it was low. It wasn't not low. It wasn't a lot of offensive talent high in the top like 2 rounds.
Right.
And I remember saying that John might reach up and grab somebody early. Don't be surprised. And so I shouldn't have been surprised, man.
Yeah.
I should have known that we were going to do something. Yeah, because the draft was defensive heavy, and if you wanted a good offensive player, you was going to have to pick them early.
Yeah.
Because they were going to be gone. So, if we needed a tackle, and Donald Penn ain't getting no younger, and I guess they haven't solidified the right tackle spot like they, thought they would with Sharp and Ware and Alexander. So you got to, you draft a tackle in hopes that he may be able to start at right tackle or take over for Donald Penn. So I got no problem with that. And as far as the second round, P.J. Hall, hey, if he plays like he played in college, if he can give us 50% of that in the NFL, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And in our third round pick, another tackle, not bad. Not a bad idea, not a bad choice. I believe his name is Brandon Parker.
Yeah.
Not a bad choice, and then in the fourth round, and then from there on out, it was all good. Like if Key and Hurst and Nelson and all these guys show up like they did in college, we pretty much are the draft winners this year. I mean, and they hit home runs because they picked players that should have been going early that dropped for whatever reason. But these players could have been in this Mo, Key. These guys could have went in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I'm really excited about this draft class. It's probably one of the best draft classes we've had since Card and Max class.
Right.
So, let's go Raiders, man. Let's see what they got. If they bring it on the field, we did good in the draft, real good.
I like the positivity, man. I'm with you. Chase with you.
Hell yeah.
We came around day 2 and 3 just like that. And when you get to step back and see the big picture, I feel like if it all pans out right, the Raiders really did finesse this draft. So speaking of home runs, who's the biggest home run in this draft? Who's your favorite player out of this draft class?
I got 2 players, but if I had to pick one, I'm gonna have to say Mo Hurst. I'm gonna have to say Maurice Hurst, man, because he should have been a top 10 pick, and he fell all the way to the 5th round. So if he's a beast and shows up and beasts out all year for the next 5 to 6, 7 years, we won the draft, and the rest of the NFL should have took note, and they were slipping 5 rounds, even even almost the Raiders. I mean, 5 rounds, that's almost the end of the draft. You know what I mean? So if he shows up, hey,
yeah,
yeah, we got a good player, man. We got somebody that's gonna man that line for at least the next, I want to say 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked your call out on PJ Hall too, and I know he's a second round pick, which is a bit high considering the school he came out of. But like you're saying, if we get 50% of that, he becomes a key rotational piece on this line behind Hurst.
Yep.
And that's impactful on many levels because you're keeping your line fresh, and that means this guy's contributing. So, do you want more out of your second round pick? Yes, but again, when you're looking at the entire personnel and the context, I'd be really happy with 50% of that production. Mm-hmm. Especially if he's in there on special teams. So, yeah, man, I'm digging the positivity. I'm glad you came around on this. I know we talked to a lot of people on the show. And then the three of us always talking. I think you and this is your badge, man. You keep it real. You shoot straight.
Yep.
And you're very critical, and I think that's why your voice is essential on this show. And so to hear you come at it like that, it just gives me a real boost of energy, and I like it, man. I'm liking it. I feel like we've reached consensus, and I'm ready for this offseason now.
I feel like we're all on the same page, and the team should be on the same page too.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yes, sir.
We're good, man. We're ready to go.
So, man, what's been going on in your life, bro?
Oh man, just work, man. The new job, man. I'm back doing pest control. So I just been out. The new job, man. That's pretty much it, man. When you got a new job, my hours changed because I was working swing shift before. So now I'm up at 4 a.m. in the morning every morning.
Damn.
So it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to change my hours around, but new job, man. I'm doing cool,
Yeah.
So,
well,
I got my one of my daughters is getting ready to have a baby in July, so I'm about to be a grandpa again. So I'm excited about that.
All right.
Yeah. Congratulations for that, brother.
Hell yeah! Congratulations, man. The Cain family's getting bigger.
That's right.
You guys have to start your own podcast. That'd be tight. Yeah, you know what? You bring it up, the pest control thing. This has always been a profession that's fascinated me because I know you guys see some shit. So, what's like the craziest thing that you've ever seen?
Oh wow. Okay. I'll tell you. I think I posted a picture of it on Twitter, and I know I've been doing this pest control. I got 15 years of experience, so I've seen a lot. But what I have never saw, and I took a picture of it and I posted it. Mm-hmm. Dead pigeon. I'm in San Francisco, so obviously it's a big rat problem. And outside of one of the buildings, there's rodents burrow underground, so they have like tunnels that run underground. And so there was a dead pigeon. I don't know how the pigeon died, but the rodents tried to drag the pigeon down into the hole, and they couldn't drag him down into the hole. So they ate what they could, and when I got there, I saw half of a dead pigeon. That's like the weirdest thing I've seen in 15 years. Like I never saw it. Like I was like, man, me and the other guy that I was working with, I was like, hey, if I was you, I wouldn't touch that because it's got bird mites on it. I don't know how we would handle that because if you get bird mites on you, you can get sick from that. So that was kind of weird, Yeah. So that was. I was like, damn. They tried to drag it down into the hole and it wouldn't go. So they ate half the body. But if you scroll through my Twitter feed, you'll see. And then another time, when you get to rat traps and the rats still be alive on the trap.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple times. Yeah, that bugs me out. By the way, at CainMT6 on Twitter. So yeah, check that out.
You want to see the extreme of the worlds that Cain lives in? You're gonna see some videos of pests
Yeah.
And then you're going to see some cheeseburgers.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You going to see food and you going to see some crazy weird shit on my Twitter.
That's crazy, man. SF rats are savages, man.
You think that's bad, man? You need to go to New York.
Oh, shit.
They look like dogs out there, bro.
Man, if rats were like 3 feet long, we'd be extinct.
Go to New York.
Yeah.
Go hang out in the subway for a while, bro.
I'm good, man.
You see a little chihuahua run by here, like, what was that?
they be calling you by name out there.
Shit, man. And they walk around like, what the fuck are you looking at?
Huh.
I'm just doing what I do every week, man.
I'm hearing some.
You're the new one here.
I'm hearing some crazy stuff in my job too. I'm in a new job, but like, I guess the new thing in the city of San Jose is these street vendors, the hot dog sellers and stuff like that out there. They make nice bacon wrapped hot dogs in San Jose. They're getting hit up. The street gangs are going around and robbing them and taxing them.
Oh shit!
So they got a little racket going on with these guys. And if you ever met one of these street vendors, they're pretty humble folk. They're out there. That's their business.
Yeah.
That's their grind.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was crazy, man. I didn't know. I didn't really think about that. It makes sense. They're pretty vulnerable. They're out there.
This is true.
And it's at a time. It's like 2:00, 1:00 in the morning. That's their rush hour. And that's scary, man. It's crazy out there on the streets, man. Rats, crazy rodents, pests, street gangs. Be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe.
Oh, man. What's on the menu tonight, Cain? What's on the menu tonight?
For dinner?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Shit, man. I don't. Honestly, bro, I'm really finna fix me a hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No bullshit. I'm throwing out a ground beef patty right now. I like house burgers. I'm finna fix me a house burger.
What's a house burger? Like a burger?
A house burger is a burger made at home.
I guess I could have figured that out.
House burger, man.
So here's the key question, because everyone's different when it comes to the cheeseburger. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
What cheese goes on the Cain burger? What's the go-to cheese? Is it the melty
y'all
American?
Y'all probably gonna slap me when I tell you this, but I just like regular American cheese, man. Not the kind that come in the individually wrapped packs.
No.
But like some deli style American cheese.
Oh yeah.
Because I think American cheese gives a burger a really good flavor. When you bite into it, you can taste the cheesiness of it. And I'm not really a big fan of cheddar cheese on my burger.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I like it simple. You know what I mean?
Right. Now I like
a greasy spoon burger.
I like cheddar cheese, but I gotta agree with you. If you get a piece of sharp cheddar on a burger, it just kind of interferes. There ain't nothing wrong with having American.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with American on a burger. I feel like American cheese was invented for the burger.
Burgers. Yeah, that's a good point.
It melts perfectly.
What else is it for?
Right.
What else would you use American cheese for?
A grilled cheese.
A grilled cheese.
Yeah. Now
burger.
A grilled cheese, and that's it.
Yeah.
A grilled cheese, and that's it.
With lots
it's a
of
good
butter.
cooking cheese.
It is. It melts down very nice. And I agree with that. Those of you that do get the American cheese, don't get the wrapped kind. You get it from the deli, or I think even I get mine at Costco, and it comes kind of in a block, but it is sliced.
Yeah.
And it tastes a lot different.
Yeah.
It's not shiny.
You didn't get that Kraft Singles.
Yeah. No.
Shit. No.
It looks like
we don't want the pasteurized, individually wrapped,
No.
shiny, cheap shit. Not that. No. You want real American deli cheese that's been sliced individually. Yeah. Now that's some good cheese on a hamburger.
Damn, I haven't eaten in like 36 hours. The real talk. I'm about to eat.
Damn, bro. And you still? How you still standing up?
I'm on that keto diet. So what I've done, those of you that don't know what the keto diet is, I've trained my body to use fat as energy rather than carbohydrates or protein. So when I go without food, my body starts burning body fat. And so I might get hungry for like 15 minutes and then it goes away. So I'm actually good, but I'm starting to get hungry.
It's all this food talk, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm on. But the keto diet, if you guys are looking to try a diet or meal plan, I've been doing it for 2 years now. I love it. I'm not going to change. I get a lot of energy off of it. I had aches and pains. They're gone. I had swelling in my ankles. It's gone. I dropped about 80 pounds. That's gone. And I like it, man.
Hell yeah.
And I get to eat a shit ton of bacon and cheese. And, you know, I can make a burger. I can't have the bun, but I could do up a burger with a big old pile of grilled
You can eat it with lettuce. You can eat it with lettuce, though, right?
Yeah.
Lettuce wrap.
Yeah, I could do the lettuce. I like to grill up a bunch of onions and mushrooms and put that on top and just sometimes fork and knife it. It's good. It's good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm not getting rid of the patty.
Nope.
So
that's what counts.
Everybody out there eating boiled chicken and broccoli, get at me.
So tell me you're not one of those people who like these new age people with these sweet potato fries, man. Come on, don't tell me that's what you do now.
No, first of all, I couldn't eat those anyways because they're still starchy carbohydrate. But when I splurge, you just give me a regular ass French fry. I like In-N-Out fries, well done. But the McDonald's fry, you can't mess with that. But the fry, and they used to have these at Carl's Jr. They don't have them anymore. It's a long time ago. You could really only get them at the store. The crinkle cut fry.
I knew you were going there, man.
You knew it.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. What's the best fry?
I like give me a cut. You know what? Give me a potato, cut it up with the skin on it, like French fries. Fry it, and I eat it just like that. That's how I like my French fries.
The steak fries, I think they call them.
That's what they. That's.
I like. Remember, if you remember back in the day, it was a restaurant called Quick Way. I don't know if y'all remember that. Okay, back in the day, it was a restaurant in Oakland. I think it was based out of Oakland. It was called Quick Way. You could Google it. It's still on Google. They French fries they had a shredder, a French fry cutter right there in the restaurant. You'll see the guy cutting the fry just like you do at In-N-Out. Matter of fact, In-N-Out is a spin-off of Quick Way. If you know people that went to Quick Way, they'll say, yeah, In-N-Out tastes just like Quick Way.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So In-N-Out, so those fries are the best fries I like. I agree with you. In-N-Out got good fries.
What's your preferred fry, Che?
I like the fries from In-N-Out as well.
There's a polarizing fry.
It is, man. It is.
Some people don't like those fries.
You know what? I just heard somebody say that just today on a podcast or something. They're like that they thought the In-N-Out fries were whack, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
They actually taste like a potato. That's what I like about it.
You mean they actually taste like a potato, like real
food?
Life, but like real food, not processed. But I like In-N-Out fries. They're fresh. That's what I like about them most, right? Is that they're fresh.
Yeah.
But you're talking about crinkle cut fries, and I got to go back to the old Baja Burgers.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Not that's local. That's Hollister and Gilroy.
Yeah.
Had the Baja Burgers, but we had them big the big. Yeah, those fries they're crispy and there's just
soft in the middle.
Soft in the middle. Yeah, man.
Those are good dipping fries right there. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on
Give
Chick-fil-A.
me some good ketchup. I'm dreaming about ketchup right now. With them fries, y'all got me dead.
Well, damn, dude. I'm starting to get hungry. I know you got to be up early. So, man, it was good to have you back on the show, dog.
Oh, yeah, it's good to be back, bro. It's good to be back.
So, again, a quick reminder to you, to Che, to our fans. We are moving to Sundays. I hope that works better for you. We try to get the podcast on air a little bit earlier when we can. Sundays are, things happen. There's Mother's Day and stuff. Obviously, that's this weekend. But we're going to try to get the show on the air Sundays and then during the regular season. We're going to try to stay on Sundays, but hang in there with us. There might be a little bit of movement, but it looks like Sunday's the day starting next week. Are you good with that, Cain? Can you do a Sunday?
I'm good with that, bro. I'm swell.
Awesome.
All right.
I do the show on a Monday night at 1 a.m. in the morning if I had to. I enjoy doing the show, so I make time for it.
Amen to that. Hell yeah. Hopefully it never gets to that, but that might be a good gimmick there someday. The midnight edition.
The midnight hour.
Yeah, after hours. Pillaging podcast. After hours. Get a little more adult.
A little sauced up.
Well, better yet, since it's the late night, we can call it the creature feature.
Ooh, there you go. Like that. Well, cool, man. We're gonna holler at you next week. I'm gonna get at you this week. I'm finally getting settled into my job, so I'll call you up. It's been a minute since we had time to chat, so we'll get caught up, man. Again, thank you, and be safe out there on them San Francisco streets.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was good to talk to you fellas, and I'll catch up with y'all next week.
All right,
Peace
brother.
out.
Enjoy the
All
burger.
right, brother. Peace.
Peace.
All right, peace.
I'm legit starving right
I know.
now.
I'm hungry too, man. I'm hungry too.
Should we wrap this up?
I think it's about that time.
All right, man. I didn't ask you what's your cheese of choice.
My cheese. I mean, you know what? I like cheeses, man.
Yeah.
I like to put I'm a Swiss guy.
Swiss is good on a burger.
I love Swiss, man.
Yeah.
I love Swiss cheese. So like anywhere I go, if I go to like get a sandwich or whatever, I always ask for Swiss.
Yeah.
And I usually have some Swiss on lock at the house too.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good cheese.
Yeah.
That's a cheese that lets you know I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. It's got good flavor, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So let's I see you.
I see you.
There's that voice. So I switched this up. Since we're not doing a YouTube stream, we're not talking to them. But I had something here, and I was looking at the follows we got because I want to do the shout outs.
Yeah.
And I remembered, I see you, Chiefs fangirl. Got the follow from Chiefs fangirl this week. And somebody pointed out it's because of the Derek Johnson signing, but I went and I looked, and she's still there. I don't know what's up with that.
What's up with that, Chiefs fangirl?
I got a lady. First of all, Chiefs fangirl, got a lady. Okay. I mean, I'd like to give it to you. The hateful side of me wants to give you some attention, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to happen, Chiefs fangirl. So, if you're planning on sliding in the DMs, shoot your best shot. I'll see what you got. Likely, this is just some dude.
Right.
Right. Hoping I slide into his DMs.
Yeah, right.
I'm firmly seated in my own DM.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We're not going anywhere.
So let's do some shout outs.
Shout outs.
Take a drink of water.
There you go.
So let me get over here. I don't even have these written out. Sorry for not tagging you guys this week. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. But anyways, shout out to Allison FM. Shout out to Night Raider. Luis Valenzuela. I think I shouted you out last week. There's a 2-for-1. Julian Tijerina. Cue ball 1, 2, 3. Shout out RJ Raider. Aunt Hella Raw. Shout out to Nick Gunn. That's my cousin. I shouted you out last week, but I did not mention you're my cousin. That's my cousin. He's a chef. Go follow Nick Gunn. You see some of the food he cooks, man. He chefs it up hard. Silver and Black 805. Johnny 26.2. 26.1 was taken. Shout out to Brendan Anderson. Shout out to Desmond Adams. Shout out to Raider Debater. That's Matt, also co-host of These Guys podcast. Make sure you check them out. They record on Sundays. Shout out to Kyle. That's at Queso27. Shout out One of Raider Nation. Football Tweets, Tyrone Richardson. Shout out to EXO. BG Memories Apparel. Raider Dodger 24. Kev 2020. We are Vegas Strong. That's at 58 Vegas Strong. Shout out to Raider Red Woman. Appreciate our female members of Raider Nation. Shout out to, wow, that's a weird font. Erie Dion Bell. That's ERI Dion Bell. Shout out to Raider Mash. Ruben Chavez. Jim Schmall. Kai, LA Raiders. So I don't know how some of these guys get these weird fonts, man. That's why I'm stumbling over here. That's talent, though. I don't have that kind of talent. Silver and Black Morir. That's Lynn Ben 69. Shout out to Alan Williams. Thanos Wise. That's Chucky's or Chucks and T's. I'm sorry. And last but certainly not least, shout out to Nez. Make sure you give my boy Nez a follow.
That's right.
That's family right there.
That's family right there. That's my family right there.
If you're a hip hop fan, make sure you check out his music. He's got a video dropping, right?
Video dropping tomorrow. Well, depending on when you're listening to this, it might be today.
It's today.
Right? So look out for that. He'll be sharing that on Twitter and on Instagram, and then I'll definitely be retweeting that link as well. So look out for it. go give him a follow and support him, man. He's part of the nation, yo.
He's
part of the nation.
That's it.
Got to support the nation.
We got to get him out to a tailgate, man.
Hell yeah.
I want to tailgate with Nez. It's been a minute. I like his bio. It's simply put, I write.
That's right.
And short. He writes,
sweet,
but very brief.
That's what he does.
But yeah, follow Nez. That's at Nez1867322 because 186732211 was also taken.
Yeah, he might have to do a little changing on the handle, but it's all good.
There might be a reason for that number though. I'm curious to find out.
All right.
You doing?
Yeah, I got a few IG shout outs, okay?
All right.
A few IG shout outs. We got Red Bearded Cyborg. We got J Steez 916 and Kathy Pearson Love. All right. Thank you guys for the follows. We appreciate it. And like your boy said, we might not be on IG as much as we'd like to, but we try to keep it. We try to keep it up to date. We try to post some things. So I'm doing my best over here. We're kind of stretched.
Yeah.
Like we said, it took us some time to get in the studio today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a radio show. How many pictures of us on the mic do you want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can only pump out so many memes a week. I mean, it's
true.
You got to be good with those. You can't just any old meme.
No, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. I take some time. I'll make the memes and then I digest them. And I'm like, no. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that one away.
Take your time. Do it right. Do it, baby.
You can do it. Take your time.
But yeah, man. So I guess that's it for this week's show. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found, and I mean that, including the Pillaging Just for Fun app, the Pillaging Podcast app, as it were, on iOS and Android. Call in, leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. Lastly, get dipped in your pillaging gear. Head over to pj4f.com/shop. Cop yourself a fresh t-shirt and download the official Pillaging app available for iOS and Android. I had to say it again.
Yes.
Please do it. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. You can find us on social media from the app. You can go to the website and jump in the comment section from the app. Please get the app. It's free. Handle it. I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Chet.
We out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Touchdown!